UFC 243 is the biggest fight night in Australian MMA history. Too many top prospects to highlight this week, so we're switching it up. Here's two fights flying under the radar that are must-see TV. Lucha numero uno. At lightweight, the Kiwi Brad Quake Riddell at 6-1 versus the Aussie Jamie Mullarkey at 12-2. The Battle of the Oceanic. Another City Kickboxing fighter makes his way to the octagon and Brad Riddell. He will be the first out of 3 to fight at UFC 243, Dan Hooker and Israel Adesanya following. The former pro Muay Thai fighter and kickboxer transitioned to MMA accidentally in 2013. He traveled to Burma for a Muay Thai fight, and when he arrived, the promoter said, "Surprise, hope that grappling is good." Quake started MMA at welterweight, going 4-0, but made the move down to 155, where he went 2-1, the only blemish being a quick armbar loss. City Kickboxing teammate, featherweight top contender, and tap-in favorite Alexander Volkanovski knocked out Mullarkey in round 1 in 2016, and he has Riddell ready to double down. With coach Eugene Berriman behind him and a wealth of fighting experience, Brad Riddell has the striking talent to earn his 6th KO and 7 wins. 12-2 Jamie Mullarkey comes into this one as the slight betting underdog, but the #1 ranked lightweight in Australia and New Zealand has to be confident with his hands. 11 finishes and 12 victories. The Aussie's first love was the national sport rugby and picked up MMA simply for cardio in the offseason. Mullarkey tried a pro bout, knocked out his first opponent in the first round, and no more footy for Jamie. Currently on a 4-fight finish streak, Mullarkey comes in hot to the fight he wanted all along. He called out across the pond to Brad Riddell in New Zealand for dodging the best competition in the region, and now we got some bad blood. This fight is sure to be an absolute war, pride on the line, and the crowd will be hyped. Third fight from the top on the prelims, it's a must-see. Fight number 2 at heavyweight, 5-0 Yorgan de Castro facing 3-0 Justin Tafa. The battle of the undefeated big boys. Yorgan de Castro is the first fighter from Cape Verde to grace the UFC mats, but he's already made an impression on Dana White, brutally knocking out Alton Meeks on the Contenders series. De Castro was born and raised off the coast of Senegal on the 10 islands of Cape Verde. Not too much MMA action going down there to say the least, so Yorgan ventured across the Atlantic to Fall River, Massachusetts. He's found a home at Regiment Training Center and also at 265 pounds as well. De Castro began amateur MMA at 205 pounds and went 3-4. He looks totally revamped at heavyweight. More speed and energy makes him dangerous at any time. His 3rd round KO 1 year ago showed fans he's improved leaps and bounds, and he aims for knockout number 5 on Saturday. De Castro's opponent is UFC newcomer Justin Tafa, who was originally planned to fight on the Contender Series, but got bumped onto the card in his backyard. The former rugby player only has 3 fights under his belt, but they can't end much better, all 3 by knockout. Tafa has brawling in his blood. His grandpa was a national light heavyweight boxing champ, and his uncle a world kickboxing champ. Mark Hunt, who Tafa trains with now, was actually an opponent of Tafa's uncle in K1 in the year 2000. Now with the Super Samoan backing him full throttle, Tafa looks for 4 KOs in 4 fights at UFC 243. This is the first fight on the main card. The fireworks will fly. Who's gonna fall first? If you don't know, now you know. Those are just 2 fights flying way too far under the radar. Lots of star potential at UFC 243. ESPN2 prelims start at 5 Pacific.